These three investments beat the stock market. Hey, how you doing? My name is Kadeem. I'm financially free. I'm recording this from the beachside in Brazil. I manage a real estate portfolio of close to $10 million and I'm only in my 20s. I've been investing for a long time, and so I'm going to share with you some lessons that I've learned from the stock market. I'm going to share with you at the end the three investments I've made in the stock market that actually outperform the stock market every single year. I'm going to explain that philosophy, right? So the philosophy is this. Oh, by the way, you can see where I am. I'll show you a pretty quick, right? That's everything there. That's a private island over there. And there's another one close by, but I didn't feel like walking all the way over there to it right now. So yeah, anyway. So if you're going to invest into the stock market gets on average 10% every year, right? So you have to beat at least that 10% mark if you're going to outperform the stock market. So then the investments I'm going to show you at least have to beat 10%. They're going to beat it by more than that, but they at least have to beat it by 10%. Okay, cool. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that if you can get 3%, 4% more, over the course of 1 year, that's not much of a difference, right? Think about if you have $1,000, you get 10% of $1,000, that's only $100. Versus if you get 14%, for example, that's $140. Over the course of 1 year, that's not that much. But over the course of 10 years, 20 years, especially if you start investing early, that is a lot of money. And so then, if we can do something that gets us 3%, 4%, 5% more, 8% more, 10% more over the course of a decade, that is a lot of money. And so that's what we're trying to do here, to find something that really gets us the maximum returns over decades. This is how you beat the stock market. So then, I'm going to run through some quick math for you, right? I'll do it in my head. I'm just kidding. I did it before recording this. So if you have 10%, you're starting at $10,000. So let's say you're 25, or 20, 18, whatever age you're watching this. And you start with $10,000 that you got as a gift or your first job, and you save up $10,000 in that first year of working. And then you invest $500 per month for the next 30 years. That's what you do. If you are at 10%, that becomes $1.2 million over 30 years. That's not bad. $1.2 million in 30 years from $10,000, $500 every month. That's not bad. But what if we could beat that? What if we could beat that by a lot? Okay, so if that's 10%, if we go to 14%, then that jumps from $1.2 million to $2.7 million. Same time period. So if you start at 20, start at 25, by the time you're 50, 55, you are a millionaire, you are done. $2.7 million at 14% versus 1.2 at 10%. That is $1.5 million difference. That's what I'm talking about here. Opa. So then, we have to acknowledge that this is a pretty big deal, okay? So we're trying to get the extra 3, extra 4, extra 5%. All right, so let me actually tell you how this works. Most people try to time the stock market, but Warren Buffett said that if you're going to invest into the stock market, most people are horrible stock pickers. And if he dies, Warren Buffett has acknowledged that what he would do is buy an ETF that invested into the S&P 500, which is the best stock market index in the world, the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is the strongest, most resilient stock market index in the world. It's American best American companies, which are the best in the world, the biggest companies in the world, most billionaires, most millionaires. That's what you're investing in, right? So then, if Warren Buffett says that this is a better investment after he dies than anything else, we should probably pay attention. So then we're investing into ETFs. What are ETFs and what is the benefit of an ETF? An ETF is a basket of the best companies that fit a particular criteria. So we want to invest into information technology, right? Blue chip stocks, right? Growth companies, right? Tech companies. These companies tend to last a very long time in terms of growth, right? Okay, so then think about McDonald's. How much more can McDonald's expand? That's an already established company. But you look at if you bought Apple 20 years ago, right? Look at if you bought Nvidia 5 years ago. Look at if you bought Google 10, 15 years ago. These are the companies that grow. And the good thing about an ETF, here's how it works. If you have an ETF, you don't have to buy and pick which stocks are going to be in that ETF. So if Nvidia goes up 400% in 2 years, you don't have to predict that. You just have to buy the information technology ETF that has Nvidia in it. Because if it does go down and performs poorly, guess what they're going to do in that ETF? They're going to take it out. So then you don't have to try and predict when Nvidia or if you should buy Nvidia. You don't have to do that. Hi, the dog coming towards me. You don't have to predict anything. All you have to do is buy the ETF and do it consistently, and they will do the hard work for you. These are much smarter people than me. They have computers that do calculations. All you have to do is buy the ETF. I've never heard investing be that easy. Here are some stats. Over the course of 10 years, you have a less than 10% chance of losing money. Over the course of 15 years, that goes down to 0.1%. Past 15 years in the stock market, there is a 0% chance that you lose money in the S&P 500. That's what we're talking about here. How do you ensure that your money goes up? So far, we're beating the stock market, and we are ensuring that over the course of 15 years, we do not lose money. 100% bet. I've never seen any other investment, and everybody should be in these investments. I've never seen any other investment that guarantees you profit 100% and makes more money than the average stock market returns. So then that's what we're trying to do here. All right, so without further ado, let me actually get to the first one. The first one is Vanguard Growth. VOOG. You're gonna look this up. VOOG. VOOG returns around 14% every year. And by the way, these three investments I'm going to tell you have been around for more than a decade. That's how you know they're proven. Opa. They've been around for more than a decade. So they've been getting 14% for the last decade on average, versus the S&P 500 is only getting 10%. Remember, that's a $1.5 million difference. VOOG. VOOG. Look that up. 14%. You can buy it from your local stock exchange. You can buy it on Robinhood. I don't support Robinhood. You can buy it on E-Trade. You can buy it on Webull, etc. VOOG. Right? VOOG. That's the first one. The second one. VGT. I repeat that. This is Vanguard's Growth Information Technology ETF. VGT. It includes all of the best information technology companies in the world, like Google. That has gone up in the last 15 years, 18% every single year. Not every single year, on average. It has done 18% on average over the last 15 years. Where else do you get something guaranteed to go up 18% more? Remember, at just 14%, that's $1.5 million of more profit. So then at 18%, how much more is that? Trust me, I'm making you money today. VGT. $10,000, $500 every month, wait 30 years. Let's see. Wait 30 years, you're going to make a lot of money. That's my point. VGT. I'm going to get to the last one here. The last one. QQQ. QQQ. This one returns on average between 13 to 14% for the last 10 years, last 20 years. Between 13 to 14%. If you're not invested in these three, you are missing out. QQQ. $500 a month for the next 30 years. At the end of those 30 years, $10,000 plus the $500 every month becomes $2.7 million or more. That's the resiliency of what we're talking about. Now, I promise you, I'll tell you the 3 investments that beat the stock market. So I'm going to repeat them for you one more time before we close out this video. QQQ, VGT, and again, VOOG. Check those out because I'm telling you, you're missing out on some incredible gains because I personally invest in these myself. Good luck to you. See you in the next video.